Call the meeting to order. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda that may be amended?
So moved.
I'd like to add an item to the agenda if we could.
What do you got?
After citizens' input, I'd like to go to executive session for personnel.
Can we move that to after Board of Liquor Control?
Yes.
Okay, so 6 becomes executive session for personnel?
In between 5 and 6?
Yeah. Well, it will become 6. Then everything else will get moved up a number. All those in favor with the change, amendment?
Aye.
Aye. Those that are not? Okay, so approval of minutes. I've got March 23rd in front of me. And I have a sheet here that says corrections on 5 for Board of Liquor Control. It's when K and H, sounds like K and H, but that could just be changed, so that's just there. This on the back here underneath. The motion was now approved. It says renewal of water wheel and the Water Wheel Trading LLC of Second Tobacco substitute endorsement and Tobacco 1 license. And then crossing out with New England Recreation's request for renewal of the 1st and 3rd. So can I get a motion to accept, well, the minutes of March 23rd?
As amended?
No, I'm not just getting a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Anything that you folks see in here other than this one sheet of paperwork that I don't know? I'll just give this to,
Yeah.
anything else, guys? Okay. All those in favor of the minutes of March 23rd with those changes on this sheet of paper that I'll hand over, corrections? Say aye.
Aye.
So the next is citizens' concerns. I'll look into the audience first. to see
I've
if
got
they-
something I'd like to read during citizens' concerns as well.
What was that?
I said I've got something I'd like to read during citizens' concerns
no
as well,
problem.
please.
Okay. So, George?
George Grant, I'd just like to say, when you're going over the budget, I've been going through the last about 8 months of the meetings here, and from what I'm looking at, most of the stuff that you have on this budget is self-inflicted wounds. If the job was done right, we wouldn't even be having this problem here right now, okay? But I'm just gonna read a few off to you.
Clapping down, I really, okay.
I'm going to read a couple off to you. We have $204,000 on solar panels, which I brought up 6, 7 months ago, which no one took care of, but now we have it on our budget. We have $200,000 on an audit, where I came up with the audit, but you guys shot yourself in the foot because you wouldn't think people would vote for it at $200,000. Now you're stuck with it. That's self-inflicted. You have $300,000 on the FEMA note, right? Which wasn't supposed to be paid, but was paid. You have $200,000 on the roads because in your contract, you didn't put lines on them. I mean, you get a reimbursement from that once you get the lines. Unfortunately, we have no lines, which is bad management. Then we have no taxes at the post office. I don't know why. I mean, for 2 years, they're not paying taxes over there where they should be paying taxes. So most of the stuff we're looking at these meetings is just bad management. And you can't say it any other way. I'm sorry to say it that way, but that's what I keep seeing here. I could go farther into this. So what I just read to you is $900,000. So I hope you guys do a little bit of better job coming up on this budget, not worry about last year's budget, what you were doing. And the other question I have is on the vision, when are we gonna get some replies from them?
So, I was just gonna say thank you to George for, and we'll get back to when Vision is going to come back, if you can ask the listers. For
What specifically are you looking for?
Well,
Come
the
back with
problem
what?
is, if we keep staying on this schedule, vision's gonna be done, then we have to go to the listers. That's gonna be another month, month and a half. Then you have to go to the BCA, which actually takes longer, because they have to come to your house. We're gonna be past our July,
Yes.
so you're not gonna have a tax base to work off, because you don't even know what the hell it is. The state, in its wisdom, doesn't even have a multiplier for us to go off. I mean, it's just bad. It's not a good thing. I mean, you guys had 2 years to get these audits together, the appraisals together, and it doesn't seem like it's working out all that great. Because Vision, are they doing another round, yes or no?
We're gonna have to come back, George, on that.
Okay, thank you. That's
Anybody
it.
else in the audience? Go ahead, Steve Feiner.
Steve Feiner. Just making a general statement, and I'll preface it by, I don't know if there's anything going on appropriately backdoor negotiation, it'll make sense in a second. I know Michael Sneed from Great Gulf made a statement in the paper that $3 billion would be coming with this development over the next 25 years. My only comment is there any way for it to look at paying some of it forward now when we really need it? Just a comment.
Thank you, Steve. Anybody else in the audience? Go ahead, sir.
I'm not a resident of Killington, so I'll need the board's permission to speak.
We've set rules that you don't.
All right. My name is Kane Sweeney. I'm the staff rep in Vermont for the DPW's union, AFSCME, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. Sitting next to me is a representative for the Policemen's Union, and all around us in this room are employees of this town. Now, with the organizing drives that have taken place in your municipal workforce, we've heard countless stories of threats levied against members of our unions for signing union cards, for participating in union activities, threats of termination should they sign union cards, changes to their health care as a response to signing union cards. All of these things violate Vermont's labor law, and I think everyone who works for the town, who has signed a union card, would like assurances that those things will not continue.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I want to
No,
respond
no,
to
no,
that.
we're not responding. We're not
No, I just
responding.
want to tell them we're having a forensic audit to deal with these issues.
Okay, so stop. We're not responding. Who else? Go ahead. Name?
Andrew Gedam. As you guys know, there is only one person in this room who I was saying the last 2-3 years is the problem. Jim have encouraged everybody to vote down the budget. And now we're seeing the issues that come with it. I've mentioned we had over $1 million in that budget deficits, and George is right. All that stuff is finally coming out. But I knew about the information before because I've done my homework. I've been participating at the board meetings, going and getting information under Freedom of Information from the town. Michael Ramsey, Dave Atherton, many other guys. There's enough here. And thank you, George, for that petition. Because now when forensic audit, and we have to do it,
You should
and all this
sign it.
other stuff that's coming out, we're going to find the truth.
That's what you really.
Whoa, George, stop.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else in the audience? Go ahead, sir.
Phil Matthews, rep for NEPBA, just want to support what my colleague Kane said and gentleman in the rear. These offices organized over a year and a half ago. We're still kicking the can down the road, and it's just going to become more costly to the town.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Go ahead.
I'm John Ralston, I'm a Killington resident. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the last board meeting. I was at the school board meeting instead.
Sorry.
So I just want to comment about the budget talk over the last few months. I'm pretty disappointed where things have gone. I think there's been an inordinate amount of time spent talking about healthcare costs and increasing the premiums on our town employees. Our budget reflects our town's values, and I think where this conversation began and where we are today, we're pretty far away from where we started this. When we started the discussion, you started the discussion, I heard about bringing our premium contributions in line with other municipalities, and now I think we've far exceeded that. So we've gone from generous to now probably the least generous plan, it seems, in the state. I think that there was a lot of confusion when the budget was voted down. I think if we look back at the numbers, I think Patrick had proposed a 12% increase, 9% of which is money that was already spent. So there was only 3% basically that was being increased. And I think that if the citizens were a little bit more informed about that, I don't know that it would have been voted down, considering it was only voted down 54% to 46%. So I think where we've become right now, where we've gotten to, isn't something that reflects the feeling of the town. I think if people understood that their taxes would only go down 50 or whatever Bill said, $100 potentially with implementing the health care increases, I don't know that they'd be in favor of that. And if that stays in the budget, I don't think I can support it.
Thank you, Tom.
Anybody else in the audience?
Go ahead. I would sit over there so somebody
All right.
says that. I've done that, Ricky, when I
Okay.
spoke as a resident.
All right, so I wrote something up this weekend, and I'm speaking as a citizen, but also as a selectman, because I feel that you're a selectman as long as you hold the position. What I have to say is important, and I would like everybody to hear it before we continue with the rest of the meeting. I would like to address the hostility and genuinely horrible treatment of town employees, past and present. In the past 36 and a half years that I worked for the town, I witnessed this type of behavior twice. First, shortly after Dave Lewis retired, causing us to lose our new town manager at the time, and again in the past 5 to 6 years. First off, I think it's absurdly, or absolutely despicable how the employees are being treated through this budget process, and they do not deserve to be treated this way. I feel that instead of attacking your employees and making up money in the budget to cover past mistakes and shortfalls that were made by other people or boards, it is beyond unfair. I believe that just about every member of the town's workforce would agree and probably would even be open to having to contribute more towards their health care, but in a fair way that is spread out over a period of time. Jumping their contribution from 3 to 20%.
I'm sorry, Ricky, I can't hear you. And maybe others can't. We want to hear what you have to
I'll
say.
speak louder. Does this thing actually?
And maybe it just has to be in front of you.
Okay, so I'll talk louder. So, said I believe that just about every member of the town's workforce would agree and probably would even be open to having to contribute more towards their health care, but in a fair way that is spread out over a period of time. Jumping their contribution from 3% to 20% in 1 year is just wrong, and I find it strange that the discussion from an earlier meeting seemed like the majority of the board was leaning towards 6 to 10% increase. As everybody probably knows, and the town's employees are looking to unionize, and that news came out before the previous select board meeting. And then strangely enough, after that came out, some on the board decided that they should have their contribution raised to 20% in 1 year. Boy, if that doesn't look like retaliation and punishment for wanting to unionize, I don't know what does. It's just my opinion, and I don't blame the employees for wanting to unionize. I believe that organizations and employers should invest in their employees to build a strong foundation and create a more productive workforce. Instead of forcing people out or not caring if employees leave, the town should want people to make their career as a town employee. When that happens, it improves efficiency, cuts down on costs and the amount of time needed to train people, and quite often helps save money since they know what works and what doesn't and how to operate within a budget. A good example that I can give is the year after I left my position as road foreman, the salt budget was overspent by $37,000. All in all, the employees are the reason why the town is able to function. The other thing I want to address, since I always get shut down when I try to explain it, is the high turnover of town employees during the past 15 years, but especially the past 5 to 6 years. There has been much talk about a toxic work environment, and let me tell you, it's not a myth. It happened when I worked for the town, and it is still going on. The main reason for the high turnover has been the toxic work environment, with a few exceptions. To give everyone an example of that, I would ask everyone to take the time to watch the recording of the March 23rd Select Board meeting. You'll have to watch it by linking in from the town's website, because The part that I'm referencing happened after the executive session and PEG TV had left. I was verbally attacked for simply bringing up wasteful spending that I witnessed and unwillingness to save a significant amount of money on winter sand that I had presented when I was the road foreman. People can watch it and make up their own minds about what the video shows. As the minutes from the meeting state, yes, I did leave the meeting while it was still in session after the exchange and would do it all over again. Because there is no need for people to be treated that way. I guess it was my turn that night, and I wonder now whose turn it will be next. Employees just want to come to work and do their job and not have to walk on eggshells or worry that they might say something that may upset someone or maybe not agree about something and then have a target on their back. I have witnessed it firsthand when I worked for the town as well. I would also like everyone to know that in most cases, there are different stories out there than the ones that have been told. False narratives abound, and I speak from experience because there were plenty of them out there about me after I resigned from my position, but this isn't about me. I know there have also been comments floating around stating that if things are so bad, why don't people come forward? Well, I've got 4 good reasons, and there are probably more. The first is people fear retaliation or being targeted as most of the employees have witnessed it happen to coworkers over the years. The second is that sometimes people choose to move on rather than deal with the stress, which not only affects them, but their loved ones as well. The third is that some people leave and keep quiet out of fear that it might make it difficult in landing a new job, being that a new employer might not want someone that had issues at a previous job. The fourth one is that many people don't pursue legal action because it costs a lot of money and takes a lot of time and creates extra stress. I'll wrap it up there, but I'm asking the people of this town to please wake up and see what's going on now and has been going on right before their eyes and realize why the chaos has been occurring in this town over the past 15 years or so. It's also time to show the employees of this town the respect and appreciation they deserve. They are not the enemy. They are what makes this town function. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky.
I would like this put in with the minutes as well.
I'd like to speak as a member of the public.
Could you please take a seat? Just remember, you swore in as a select board member, and I hope we understand that.
Yeah, 100%.
Here for the town.
Just a point that I wanted to bring out, John Wysocki, speaking as a resident this evening. The only information that I can find as it relates to personnel policies on the town website, which is also recorded in the town records, clearly states employees will be enrolled in the Platinum Blue Cross Blue Shield plan or equivalent plan, matching the maximum annual out-of-pocket expense. The town will pay 97% of the premium. Employees will pay 3% of the premium, which will be taken out as a monthly payroll deduction and be responsible for the deductible and co-pays in the plan. The town will provide a health savings account, provide access to a health savings account, which employees can use pre-tax dollars to fund their deductible, out-of-pocket expenses, and other qualifying health expenses. The reason I read this evening is simple clarification. We're not and haven't been following personnel policies, and this is a big part of the reason why we are here today. Policy, process, and procedure, we need to get it under control. A town manager needs to follow town policy. Thank you.
Anybody online? Not hearing any?
I have a question, one more. So, to John, to your comment.
Can you mention who you are?
Together. A few months ago, I brought a piece of paper about how the fire department was formed. And there was a discussion that in that legal document that you're referring to, that if we should follow the legal documents, it says clearly, and I read this on multiple occasions, that fire department was created and it's a volunteer. And I think Patrick and many other selectmen can speak more in detail about it, but yet we don't have a volunteer fire department anymore. My point is, lots of the documents are dated, they're not accurate. Another good example is Alpine Pipeline sewer. I mean, there are many issues that you guys will have to address. And it's to start with the town manager that signed a 3-year contract that should stick around and clean up the mess. Thank you.
Thank you. Hearing all that, I believe executive session for personnel is next.
Do you want Board of Liquor?
Board of Liquor.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah,
Board of
sorry,
Liquor.
Board of Liquor. Sorry, Peggy. So Peggy gave me a list here, and instead of going by each one and then saying, I'm gonna first go with Killington Market, application for a second class and a tobacco license. Any questions on that? The next one is Killington Base Lodge, for Killington Restaurants, Inc., business entity name, first class, third class. The next up is Killington Peak Restaurant, Killington, third class, outside consumption. The next one is for Snow Shed for Killington Restaurants, Inc., first class, third class. There is 3 outside consumption permits. The next one up is Killington for Pico Base Lodge, first class, third class, outside consumption permit. The next one is Killington Peak Restaurant, a first-class license. Then there's Northbrook Jerk Mountain Grill, also Killington Restaurants, Inc., first class, third class, outside consumption. Then there is Killington Grand Hotel, Killington Restaurants also, first class hotel, third class hotel, outside consumption permit, second class license. Then there's the Killington Restaurants, Inc. for a clubhouse grill, first class, third class, outside consumption. Then there's also Killington Restaurants for Bear Mountain Base Lodge, first class, outside consumption. Then there's we're switching over now away from Killington Restaurants to Mountain Merchant for a tobacco substitute endorsement, a second class, a tobacco license. Then we have switching over to New World Development, otherwise known as Summit Lodge, for a first class, third class, and outside consumption. Then we have Green Mountain National Golf Course, Sherburne Golf Services, tobacco license, first class, outside consumption, and third class. Just to remind us, I think we approved recently for cigars. Okay. Then we have Woodstock Hospitality, Inc., otherwise known as Mountain Meadows, first class, third class, and outside. Then we have Yama Rama LLC for a first class and an outside consumption.
Yama Ramen.
Yama Rama, okay. Do we have anything else to add on to that, Peggy?
No, that's it.
Okay, so since there is no questions on any of these, I'd like to get one motion for all of these for the town clerk to move forward.
So moved.
Second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And I'll hand that over, so, okay. Yep. So, we'll go into, so can I get a motion to go into executive session for personnel?
So moved.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to first say, out of executive
Go ahead,
session
go
at 7:45, no action taken.
You're not. You're not muted, Sheila.
What were you going to say?
It has now been corrected. We had 2 of the same, or Kathy, or is it Katie? Katie, can you just tell me your last name? And Sheila, I'll mute you.
But it is muted.
There you go. Katie, can you tell us your last name? There's just a Katie, and not Katie Savage. Oh,
We
yep,
can't even
okay,
mute.
because I got muted.
So let me start again.
You do
Out
it
of
now.
executive session at 7:45, no action taken. Katie, Katy, can you unmute and just give us a last name? Thank you.
Thank you. And then Lisa?
Davis
Is that
Lewis.
Davis? Liz?
Yeah, you can see a picture,
Oh, hey, yes, I can. Never mind, you're good.
you know?
I think the rest of it we're fine with.
Yeah, there's two Katies.
I'm only seeing
There's
one
two
now.
Katies, one over there.
So,
They're
there's
both
one way on
Katie
the
Sa-
left.
They're both Katie Savage.
Both Katie Savage? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay? I don't know why, Katie, you're in twice or whatever,
Might be recording with one.
so that might be recording, so,
okay,
okay?
thank you for
So,
that.
Next on the list is the
Loan
Loan
agreement.
agreement.
loan agreement, SRF.
All right, we have a loan agreement that we are. Let me grab
Is
it.
this a correction or something, or is it
It's
just?
extending it, adding to it. So this is for water contracts 5, 6, 7,
5.6,
5, 6.
not 7. 7, we haven't done anything yet.
It's
That's on Route
preliminary
4.
engineering costs.
Oh, okay, for that part?
Yep.
Okay.
And so it is to increase the loan amount to cover that.
Can I get a motion to, have
Maybe we
the
have the
chair
chair,
and the
yeah.
treasurer and the clerk to sign the loan agreement, Vermont State Revolving Fund, Loan RF 3-459-2.2, the loan amount of $1,467,436.
I do need the rest of the select board to sign Exhibit C on that.
This should be a
Well, first,
separate
let's do
motion,
thi-
no?
So let's do this one here, okay? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any questions on this? All in favor?
Aye.
That one? Oh, you're down here at the yellow tab.
Okay.
And I have Exhibit C.
Let me see Exhibit C.
Hold on. Wrong one. Oops, maybe it's Exhibit D.
I mean, you
And I
guys
actually
all
have
have
one on
this in
C
your
also.
package?
Yep,
Correct.
so I
Okay.
have C and D.
You have C and D.
Yep.
Can I get a motion for the board to sign Exhibit C and Exhibit D?
Quick question, I just saw
Sure.
the general obligation note thing. It says 0%, we not getting changed.
No, we're not.
Okay.
It's a
State.
40-year loan, it's
Okay,
0%.
all right.
State revolving fund.
Can I get a motion to,
So moved.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So this is C and D.
C and D, okay. We sign these, just one document.
Well, that's being signed. I think the next one's also
Well, we're
pretty
gonna
quick one.
wait for them to sign it.
So again, it's gonna be all signed.
Yeah. There's a second one coming. You can only sign one at a time.
Vito's got two hands.
I only got a pencil.
Okay, the next on the agenda is the warrant for the Alpine Drive sewer.
Thank you.
It's a warrant by the Board of Selectmen to Collector of Taxes, Alpine Drive Sewer Assessment, to Patrick Cushing, Collector of Taxes for the town of Killington, Vermont, and the county of Rutland. Greetings by authority of the state of Vermont. You are hereby commanded to levy and collect of the several persons named in the foregoing list herewith committed to you the sum of money annexed to the name of each person respectively together with proper penalties, interest, and fees if applicable, and pay the same to the treasurer of the town of Killington. And if any person neglects or refuses to pay such sums, which is he or she, I guess, or they, is assessed with any fees, you are hereby commanded to extend this warrant for the collection of such sum, so assessed against such delinquent person with proper penalties, interest, and cost upon any land in this state belonging to such delinquent person according to law, dated at Killington, Vermont, in the county of Rutland, this 13th day of April 2026. Can I get a motion for the select board to sign this?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions?
says several persons named in the foregoing list.
Yeah, we
That's
don't
the
know.
list of users.
Where is the
Okay.
list?
It's not attached. This is
We
how we
should-
typically sign it.
We usually get, I mean, I've been on the board for 10 years, everybody claims. We would get a list of who we're signing.
Okay, if you want to push it off to next
you
time,
know.
you can do that.
So, well, we'll, you know, and it's to the town manager. We don't say to a person because
Right.
you just, so for that here, let's bring this back with and change this to town manager, which we all know is you, okay? And,
Attach a list?
and attach a list, and we can bring it back at the next meeting or whatever.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if it should be upon any land in this state belonging, it's in the town of Killington. Just check. It says here, interest and cost upon any land in this state. This is, we're just giving you permission for the town of Killington.
You want me to collect the rest of the state?
I don't think you have enough time.
No, I don't.
So if you could just check to make sure that, all right, and then bring it back with.
Well,
So, can I get,
just a comment. If the person who is delinquent owns land other than land in the town, is this saying that they can attach
we
any
can't-
land?
We can't. We're only liable for the town, for us,
Okay.
okay? So, all right?
Was the greetings text, Patrick, just state boilerplate or?
Probably.
This?
Yeah, that,
Yeah, I think we
Okay.
just pulled what we've done every year.
what you've done in the past, okay.
Yeah, but we started saying we're no longer gonna do that.
No, I know,
Because
I'm
it
just wondered,
changed-
was
because it
curious,
changed so
was
often.
curious where it came from, that's
So we
all.
just say town manager?
Yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah, no, it should say town
Oh, no,
manager.
that, yeah, that.
Yeah, it
the-
should say
the-
town manager.
The
Yeah, it
state
should
and
say-
stuff, that's
yeah,
just how
yeah,
it's been.
Yeah,
Okay.
it should say town
All
manager.
right, so, since we have a motion on the floor, I'm gonna vote no, but I would think because it's coming back, so, all in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
Nay?
Nay.
Oh,
Okay,
Misunderstood the question there.
okay, so bring it back, Patrick.
Yep, that's
okay?
fine.
Administrative discussion, ethics investigation. I don't know where this is going
Vito
because
asked to
one of
put
the
this
other
on.
board members, so I am going to sit outside of the table.
Outside the table? Sure.
Outside of the table.
okay, just to give some background on this a little bit, we have the forensic audit ahead of us. After reading the language in the ethics complaint, it seems to me it's, everything in it is going to be addressed via the forensic audit. Now, I don't know why somebody jumped the gun and decided to go to the state, which they can't do anything anyway, and they just kicked it back to us. But, make a long story short, I spoke to Patrick regarding this about a week ago, hoping, well, first of all, to find out the exact procedure. And what was related is that if we, as a board, are uncomfortable with Patrick doing the investigation, then we have to find a somebody approved by the state as an investigator to do an independent investigation. And we have to pay this person, apparently. So my question was, why can't we roll this into the forensic audit, since we have a budget for it, are gonna pay for it anyway, and they're gonna do that work anyway? And the answer was, well, we checked with legal, and we have to do it that way. So my question is, could I be authorized to call Kevin Brown, former town attorney?
So I already talked to Jim Barlow, our town attorney.
I know, I just
And
said
he,
that.
oh, I think he said Kevin Brown.
No, I want to speak to Kevin Brown, who is another attorney that the town has used in the past.
I'd be
To get an
careful.
independent opinion whether we can roll this into the forensic audit.
I would be careful getting multiple legal advices to the town from different attorneys, but that's within your purview.
I am asking for authorization to approach Kevin Brown.
You're the vice chair at this point.
Yeah,
You-
I guess the question does come into, does it create a quandary of legal direction? But at the same time, There is history that does exist with Mr. Barlow, so, meaning with the person named here in the ethics complaint as well, so I'm not sure that
Let's say that
having a second opinion is necessarily a bad approach. I mean, I think it would be good to hear it, or at a minimum, I think Vito should be able to have a discussion with Mr. Barlow at a minimum.
That's up to you guys. I will say Jim Barlow gave us the name of an investigator who is a licensed investigator for the state of Vermont. She has conducted ethics investigations for other municipalities. She's a former state trooper, and she would be interested and willing to take that.
And how much would that cost?
100 an hour.
How many hours?
Somewhere likely between 9 and 12, 9
So
and
we're talking
15.
$1,200 that
Yep.
we're going to spend again when we get the forensic audit done. From my understanding, what forensic auditors are, they are licensed professionals, and I'm sure they're licensed as some sort of investigators.
Forensic
capacity.
accountants, typically.
Forensic audit is basically what the state police would do. So
Well,
it's a criminal investigation.
And there really just seems to be one question as I read the complaint. It's effectively one question. It's public, right? So I can,
No.
Okay, so effectively, all I see in here is one question that has two parts to it that would be easily answered, in my opinion, one way or the, whatever the answer is, but that's all I see. After that.
There's a lot there.
Well, no, there's a bunch of statements,
Yeah, there's a lot of statements.
but I think it could be somewhere between conjecture and,
Well, the point would be that the investigator would, well, for lack of a better word, certify that those are just statements with no bearing or anything.
We have an ordinance that dictates how to handle this, and that was passed last time.
Again, I'm trying to save the town money.
right.
Yeah, Vito, I think we would all like to save the town money, but the question becomes legally, what is our responsibility? Okay, and so we need to get clear legal definition on that.
That's what I'm trying.
Yeah, and which is
That's
what
what I'm
you're trying to
asking
do.
for. That's what I'm
which is
asking
you-
for.
But the thing is, I mean,
Talk to our attorney
we gotta be
already.
agnostic about it, and we have to listen to what we're being told, because if,
I listened to what I was told from Patrick. I just want to have.
no,
I
I'm
want
not-
to further
assuming-
investigate the possibilities that if we hire licensed professionals for our forensic audit, could they substitute for the approved state investigator?
So can the
That's
question,
that's all I want to find out.
so leaving the subject out of the, meaning the particular subject out of the conversation, an open-ended question is what you're asking to,
It's a
meaning.
general question. yeah.
Right, not specific to this case, but but in general terms, if a circumstance were to exist, is that what?
Well, the specific
Well, I
case
mean, it
brought
is,
this
but-
up, but yeah, in general, I would like to, know if we can't actually possibly do this somehow. That's all, that's all.
The advice from our attorney was, if you feel uncomfortable with me doing the investigation, because that's how the ordinance is written, it defaults to the second, which would be Jim in this case, and he cannot do the investigation. So then it would go to a third party, and the third party that he suggested is as I described.
Okay, did he
It is.
Did he quote statute, or did he just suggest? Did he
About-
quote statute, or did he suggest the state investigator?
It's our town ordinance.
yeah, Vito, it's interesting, last term, we had a discussion of this, and
Yeah.
one of the questions that we spent time on was, the state was recommending that the town manager be the ethics officer. and
I
we-
understand that.
And we had.
I read our ordinance.
Well,
I don't think it
Vito-
addressed,
Vito-
I don't think it addressed anything about an independent auditor.
All right,
Vito,
let Bill finish.
Vito, we had questions about it, and this is clearly in the purview where, well, wait a minute, maybe the town manager shouldn't be doing this, and hence maybe it's an independent investigator, or maybe it's rolled into the forensic audit. Okay, it could go either way.
I mean, I think
okay?
it's clear the town manager can't be involved in it, where
Well,
where
I
he's-
believe that's true,
He's
yes.
party to some of this
believe
conversation,
that's-
so,
Well, I believe because of the nature of the investigation, Pat, it doesn't concern Patrick from a standpoint of the items, okay, but concerning reporting responsibilities and everything, it would not be a good thing, okay? It could create a whole bunch of other questions.
Sure.
Okay, which I think we need to conduct the ethics investigation, just like we need to conduct the forensic audit, okay, in a way that gives clear results that everybody accept, okay?
Part of the language in the
Yeah.
ordinance is about promptness,
Yeah.
and that would also come
I
into
would
play.
agree with that.
Yeah, yeah, that would come into play because the forensic audit, one, it's outside their typical purview, and they may not even allow that in there, but that has not gone out to bid. That is not, we haven't put out the RFP. We have that on the agenda tonight. Their investigation is going to take months on hand also. And so if you do want this done promptly, if you want to do this in accordance with how we do it, and if you want to follow our legal advice, and you feel uncomfortable with me doing it, which is totally fine, then the recommendation from our attorney is.
Provide some statements in here. so
Okay,
it's-
so,
yeah.
So that's fine.
in response to what you just said, Patrick, go back to your presentation of forensic audit services, the RFI. In paragraph 3, at the bottom, indicators of fraud, waste, abuse, or misconduct. That points right to that ethics stuff that's in the complaint.
Okay.
John,
Jim?
as a citizen over here and the one that's the complaint, I'm keeping my mouth shut, but Patrick, there is a bias or whatever, I think you should keep your, that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, your name is in this also. So I think anybody's name that's in there should be quiet, that's all.
And the only comment I would give Vito on that is, there is without questions overlap, okay? But I do think you have two different things you're trying to look at. On the one hand, you want to conduct the ethics investigation as quickly as you
Well,
possibly can, collecting as much detail as you possibly
I
can.
absolutely
Okay,
agree. And
okay.
that brings
I know
up-
you would, but let me finish,
And that brings
please.
up the next
Let me
item.
finish, please. Okay, let me finish, Vito. I think the other thing that we have to be concerned about is the forensic audit is probably much more expansive than the ethics investigation. And so the forensic audit is going to take some time, okay? And we have to respect that process as well. So I think you got two things that, although there's overlap, you got two things that are playing against one another, okay? The ethics investigation needs to be done quickly so that we can get it behind us, okay? And the forensic audit needs to be done with detail so that we can clean up anything we find.
Patrick, how far along are you in the ethics investigation?
I have not, sorry, because I've been working on the budget. I talked to the person making the complaint, and they understood that I was
How long
working
ago
on
was
the
the
budget.
ethics complaint submitted?
I'd have to look at the date. But when I
Been
talked to,
at least a couple of weeks.
yeah, when I talked to the person, they understood that we were working on a failed budget, and they were, you know,
I think
understanding
this is
of
of
that.
tantamount importance. I know there's people in the audience who want to know.
All right, so then let's get this third-party person. You can make a motion.
It's been a month.
No,
Just-
I want
Let's
authorization.
ask the people in the audience, okay? All right, you're bringing it up, okay, so open it up
Excuse
to
me.
comments from
Excuse me,
people,
sir.
from people in the
Sir.
audience. Okay?
This is not a citizens' comment moment, thank you.
I don't care.
I didn't open it up to the audience. I said there's people in the audience who might be interested in the results.
Thank you, Ken.
Grace.
Yes, I appreciate.
You're right.
I appreciate your words,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Vito. Anyway, what I am asking for is permission to speak to Kevin Brown vis-à-vis the possibility of rolling the ethics investigation into the forensic audit. That's what my question is in front of the select.
Please just call the
So
motion.
Kevin Brown is compromised.
Please
I'm
call
sorry.
the vote amongst the board members. I'm getting tired of this.
Vito, I could support your motion if you change it to talking to Kevin Brown about the legality of rolling the two together.
Okay?
That's
Okay, so I would ask that you, I would ask that you, you
I just want to
reframe
have
your motion.
authorization
Okay.
to speak to Kevin Brown about the legality of rolling the ethics investigation into the forensic audit.
So just make a motion, let's get this over with.
That's my
You
motion.
can make a motion on that, yeah.
All right, so we'll make a motion for Vito to speak to Kevin Brown regarding
Well, I think it should be a little more, because this is going to cost money, so I have to be authorized to speak to the attorney, because it's going to cost the town money.
Yes, it will.
Authorization for Vito to speak to Kevin Brown, asking about the legalities of rolling the ethics complaint into the forensic audit. Can I get a motion? A second.
Second.
Any discussion? Ricky, you don't have anything to say? Vito, vote? Okay. All right, call vote.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so moved.
Opposed?
Any opposed? Ricky?
Ricky.
Okay, so 3-1.
Okay.
Forensic audit RFP language.
Do you have Kevin Brown's number?
Do I have his number?
Yeah. Can you get it? Okay. Forensic audit RFP language. I provide you guys the RFI, which RFP is being built off of. You guys indicated, hold on, sorry, gotta let one person in. You guys indicated that you want to discuss it before putting it out. You've had it for a couple weeks now. Is there any changes to language?
You get a motion to approve the request for information, or otherwise known as RFI, Forensic Audit Services, the town of Killington. It has on here, the purpose is seeking information from qualified firms regarding the potential engagement of forensic audit services. The request for information, RFI, is issued solely for planning and informational purposes. Responses will assist the town in refining the scope, timeline, and budget for a possible future request for proposals, RFP. The RFI is not a solicitation for bids and does not obligate the town to issue an RFP or award a contract. It goes on to the background that the town operates with an annual operating budget of approximately $8 million, approximately $75 million in capital projects, grants, and restricted funds over the past 3 fiscal years, to include a $47 million tax increment financing project. It should be $63 million, to be honest with you.
Okay.
The town's estimated 2026 grand list is approximately $1.9 billion. Right, so it's estimated. That would be the 2027 estimated. The town's estimated 2027, it's not 2026, we're in 2026.
Yep.
The town is considering a 3-year full scope retroactive forensic audit to evaluate financial activity, internal controls, compliance, and potential irregularities. This review would be investigative in nature, distinct from a routine financial statement audit. 3, anticipated areas of review preliminary. Respondents should assume the town is exploring forensic review of the following areas: 1, general ledger and transaction testing; 2, cash management and bank reconciliations; 3, payroll, benefits, overtime, and leave balances; 4, accounts payable, vendors, and procurement practices; 5, capital projects and grant-funded activities; 6, internal controls and segregation of duties; 7, indicators of fraud, waste, abuse, or misconduct. Respondents are encouraged to comment on whether this scope is appropriate and efficient or overly broad. Insufficient. It should be sufficient, right?
Well, the scope, you're asking.
Responses are encouraged to comment on whether this scope is appropriate.
And just again to clarify, this is the RFI that went out. We are talking about an RFP. This is just informing the RFP. So some of this language is not going to be included in the RFP because we would have to find the scope.
Because you've already gone through the RFI process.
Exactly. Yeah. This is more of using this as a base for discussion about if there is something glaringly missing. Or
Okay, so
something.
so they'll come back and say if it's
The
insufficient.
RFP would be much more direct, so to speak.
Yes, it'd be
Okay.
telling what we want versus.
Thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
thanks. So information requested, respondents are asked to provide concise narrative responses to the following: A, firm qualifications, overview of forensic audit and investigative experience; 2, experience with local or state government entities; 3, experience with capital projects and grant compliance; 4, relevant professional credentials, CPA, CFE, CFF, etc. B, forensic approach, description of your typical forensic audit methodology, how forensic work differs from a standard audit in practice. 3, use of data analytics, sampling, or full population testing. 4, approach of documenting findings for public or legal scrutiny. C, scope and risk insight based on the background provided. Identify A, common risk areas you would prioritize. B, areas where municipalities often underestimate exposure. C, suggested refinements or sequences of the scope. D, timeline expectations, typical duration for a 3-year forensic audit of a municipality of this size. 2, key milestones or phases. E, cost range, non-binding, estimated order of magnitude cost range, examples low, mid, or high. 2, typical billing structures, hourly, not exceed, phased. 3, key cost drivers or variables. Note, cost estimates are informational only and will not be used for the vendor selection. F, deliverables, examples of standard deliverables. 2, level of detail typically provided in forensic reports. 3, experience presenting findings to governing boards or the public. 5, confidentiality in public records. RFI submissions may be subject to Vermont public record laws. Clearly mark any proprietary information which would need to be redacted. 6, submission instructions. Responses should be submitted electronically in PDF format by January 26, COB, is that?
This again, this was something that already went out.
To
and we got
manager
responses
Patrick
back.
Christian. Responses should be limited to 7 pages, excluding resumes of firm price. 7, disclaimer, this RFI does not constitute a solicitation or an offer to contract. The town reserves the right to issue an RFP, revise the scope, or take no further action.
So Patrick,
So this is the RFI, where's the RFP?
So this is what I was saying, is there anything on here that is missing that needs to be included in the RFP language?
Well, you didn't give us any feedback from the RFI. I don't see any, I don't see any further detail that.
The RFI feedback was to inform the price that went out onto the article vote. This is now so we can put together and put out that RFP, and it is based off this RFI. Is there anything in here?
Was there anything that was in, did they come back to us and, because respondents are encouraged to comment on whether the scope is appropriate, insufficient, or overly broad. So did you get feedback?
The feedback was going back through everything on the 3 years is not how a forensic audit typically works.
So can I get a motion to push this to the next meeting? And can we have a copy of all of the?
That's not going to help with the RFP. The RFP is, the
I'm
RFI.
listening.
why do you want
asking-
to push it?
Well, John has questions right now that he's asking, what information was given back to us?
Was there any information
He
given back?
just said there was.
It is around pricing and how so the RFI, this
Well, we got the
was,
pricing information. We know
yeah,
that.
this was used to inform the article that went out with the pricing.
Right,
And now we put out an RFP,
okay.
and when we get the
did
RFP
we-
responses back, that's when all you guys will get those to decide.
So the
we wanna go
RFP
with.
information is going to be beyond what the response to this was.
Sorry, say that again?
The RFP response is going to be different from the response that you received for this.
Yes.
Okay, so there is commentary on this,
There are,
beyond the prices and the costs.
yes, it's
The
a,
recommendations, it's too broad.
yes,
that
but
kind of thing.
but the scope is outlined by the articles as passed.
So-
Is anything
Well, one
missing?
thing- I have one thing
Yeah.
on F.
Yeah.
Item 3.
Deliverables.
Experience presenting findings to governing boards or the public.
Hold on, so I missed you. Number 4?
Second page, F, deliverables.
Yes,
The third.
deliverables.
Experience presenting findings to governing boards or the public, courts, or legal proceedings.
Courts or legal proceedings,
Courts
excellent.
and/or legal proceedings.
Yep, that is what we're looking for here. So is there anything else in here that you'd like to see put out to the RFP? Because it is based off of this.
Well, I guess, Patrick,
Bill
to
speak.
follow up on John's comment, okay? So the RFIs that came in obviously gave some shaping comments about I can do this for $25,000, but here's what I'll do. I can do this for $300,000, here's what I'll do. There were some shaping comments in there. And the question I would ask to the board is, are we too broad in what we're asking for? Okay,
Well,
or are we too tight?
I just want to say that I think what Patrick is trying to say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that there was a vote that was put out and it asked for all this stuff. It's not the board's chance to lower what the voters voted for. I believe that's what you're stating.
It's, yes, the basic framework is laid out by the articles.
Is the article, right.
It's
the
more
basic-
of,
yeah.
Getting into.
are we
what, like-
missing anything in here, like that language where it's, like, it's not just governing bars public, but court, legal filing?
As such examples where I said it's 63 million.
Yes, and
Okay.
63 million.
And with a certain thing where Vito just added something.
Yep.
We're not subtracting because this is.
I would be hesitant about subtracting because
Because
then it may go against the article that was
the
passed.
vote-
Well, yeah,
voters
yeah,
voted.
obviously, we have to stay within the shape of the article.
And that's what most of the feedback from, besides the price, the feedback from the RFIs was, your scope is too broad. That's not how this works.
Right. no,
Okay.
It doesn't
So
matter.
let me
because
ask you
Which
this.
is, yeah, doesn't matter.
Let me ask you this. Now, review, again, getting back to 3, anticipated areas of review. I like the word review,
Yes.
because what I would like to see is a review of work that's already been done by a regular auditor for stuff like general ledger and transaction testing, cash management, and bank reconciliation.
Once again, I'm gonna
And so
say
on, and
that-
so on. I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying, the language here says review. It doesn't say investigate.
Right.
Or audit, or anything
But
else.
it's
It
the
says
third-
review.
the
So if they can
voters-
review RHR's findings, that
They will-
saves a lot of time and money.
The petition said one.
I know, I'm just
The
saying.
petition said one thing,
Yep.
of independent, and the board voted
I
for a
understand.
number with a $200,000 fee in it. And both of them said independent. You show me an independent that's gonna base
Yeah.
their findings off of reviewing somebody else's work.
Well, then maybe
they're not gonna
this
do.
word should be changed.
Yeah, so.
I'd like that they leave it there.
So they're going to review the general ledger and translate, but they're not going to go off of what some other auditor had done. That's how I'm reading it.
Correct.
Okay?
Okay? So I'm good with that, so.
Okay.
So just for me, the two is the 63 million.
Yep.
And the estimated
Are you
2027.
saying 63 million in the TIF one?
It's
Yep.
63 because because you're getting into here with
The
grants and
phase 2,
everything.
yeah.
So no, not phase two, 63, and we already had 6 million of grants, which knocked it down to 47. I mean,
I see what you're saying.
57.
So you're saying count the grants in there as part of the total?
Well, if you're gonna be doing
Mm-hmm.
3,
Look at
and
everything.
you're gonna be
Yeah.
doing 3, and
Yep.
you're gonna be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it says capital projects and grant-funded activities.
Yep.
So
Okay.
it's a $63 million project. I mean, at the end of the day, some of the stuff's not started, but there might be
Right.
some things
Plus or
in there.
minus.
Yep.
So that's my two changes,
that's
63
good.
million and 2027.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go fiscal year.
you know, that's all.
So
I mean, that gets
we're
confusing.
going to send this back for further review, or further
Right.
consideration? This-
Well, it's going to write the
No,
RFP.
It's just gonna write the RFP
It's a
now.
different one they'll put in.
And then we have to wait on-
Typically, we don't get those approved by the board because that's just day-to-day operating.
Okay, so
What
you
you
can-
will approve is the responses back when you pick the firm that would conduct.
Okay, so this is not going to delay this
No.
going out any further?
Nope.
Okay, okay, I'm fine with that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can I get a motion to
Yeah, no, it's
allow
a-
the town manager to move forward with the RFP language based off the conversation we just had?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? We move on to the 2027 budget discussion.
Oops.
So.
All right, where do you want to start?
Starting with the 2027 budget with news that came to us, and I'm gonna tread here or whatever, but news that came to us through the newspaper on Wednesday stating that the police department had but the police department was well, maybe it was formed a union. And now we're finding out today, I'm sorry, sir, but we're finding out a year and 3 months ago or whatever, okay? It was never brought to any board. I am sorry, okay? It was never brought to a board, okay?
The election, sir, the vote?
Nothing, we never saw anything. Maybe you gave it to the town manager, but it never came to the board. And I'm just making that statement, I'm not gonna go further, okay? That we were not aware of. And then reading the Wednesday's newspaper, that we're reading Wednesday's newspaper, okay, that it said that the police department already formed one, and the rest were likely. Okay, we were never given, other than saying likely, we were never given. So, moving forward, that's all I'm gonna say on that, because now we have to respect, since I sat through with a previous town manager for I think it was AFSCME 93 for the highway department, which then ended up stopping for whatever reason at some point. Right away, when the board was told from the town manager on that one, we had a meeting, we met right away with a lawyer for the town. So I would like to get a motion first before we get into that, or just a motion to have Patrick contact whichever lawyer handles the union, okay, to set up a meeting with the board so the board members could understand what their legal obligations are. And it is, I can tell you, it is a collective bargaining agreement, and we need to be fair, and we need not to threaten or anybody or anything like that. That's what we need we move on. I personally going to say, I like the idea of a union, but that's just me, and I'm not going to take it any further. So can I get a motion to give Patrick instructions to contact our legal, and I think it's Matt Bloomer?
Yep.
Okay.
I've already contacted him.
Okay, to set up anywhere from now until next Monday, because after Monday, Bill, I think you go away. Okay, so ask Matt for a few dates and times between now and then put it out to the board. Can I get a motion for that? Can I get a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So all we did here right now is because we're going to work into the budget, but we want to know
So I can lead in, if you want to work on the budget tonight, the advice of counsel, Matt Bloomer, if I got his name wrong, that's.
I believe it is
apologize.
Bloomer.
Yeah.
I think it's Bloomer.
He advised that a select board, the duty of a select board or any governing body in Vermont when it comes to labor unions is to bargain, they have a duty to bargain in good faith, as well as prohibited of acting unilaterally. And so that prohibits making any changes to the current status of pay, benefits, hours, anything related around, conditions around employee and employment. So I have created a version 3 of the budget, and it's going to definitely need some tweaking since some errors were, not errors, but some
Well, we're gonna get
points of
into that, yeah,
clarification
whatever,
were
because
put
we're talking
in.
underneath personnel in the executive session. So I want to say thank you for that explanation. Okay, and we're going to move forward with and doing everything right. Sorry to the representatives here, but we were not aware. I can recall that's a lie, but I'm okay with that. We'll move forward. But in this, everything, pretty much, the paychecks that went out, that's everybody's pay. Until the hourly rates.
Yeah.
The 3% match from the employees.
For medical.
For the premium.
Yep.
And the 75% wrap.
It's not a
I
match.
don't know if it's 75% for it.
It
It's
is.
money that goes.
The current, sorry, I'm making sure someone joined. There we go. The current medical contribution, HRA wrap is 75%.
Okay, all right. So that's understood, okay? So we're moving on from there. all right?
So you can touch anything in the budget outside
Well,
of,
it's not, we're gonna follow rules, it's not,
Yeah.
I mean, saying you could touch anything, that makes it sound like and we're not, okay?
well, I mean, you can do roads, you can do.
Well, whatever, we're gonna move forward.
Any other capital.
But to keep it, because what my understanding of unions, okay, and coming from Long Island, my understanding of unions is that there may be some people, because I have not seen a signed card yet, or clue.
Sure.
So there may be some people that didn't sign, but the union gets to still negotiate for certain people.
For certain positions,
So,
yes.
so the whole budget on pay is frozen to what currently,
Again, with some caveats, like
Yeah.
the Department of Public Works, changing that from 95 to 110, should be
no,
fine
no,
because
no,
it's
so
a,
let me get this straight. And let me
non-covered
Patrick,
position.
Let me, okay. Just because it's a non-part, we approved in a vote last week.
Yep.
It's not anything to do union or not union. We approved last week for you, we removed from the hiring freeze to bring in a public works director. We have the right to remove hiring freeze when it comes to us that's needed. And in that vote, we said at $110,000. So that vote was done. We're not taking anything away from that.
Good.
So what I would
So
like
reach
to.
back out.
No. We have to follow what's going on. So what I'm getting at is that we're looking at the FY '27 budget, and then I know that there's been things like if I go here and just, underneath the police, where is the police department? Okay. I've got it in my book or whatever.
let me open up mine as well.
The police department, just to be corrected here, it shows that the budget is $85,000, and stay calm, okay? Stay calm over there, Whit. You're the chief and you're not, but his pay has been paid for the last few months, at least 6 months, I believe, at a different rate than that. So that's where I'm getting at, okay? So, and even though the chief is not part of, I don't know, I never saw I'm sorry, but you're not part of the.
Chief is not part of union.
Right, so the chief, because you oversee that, okay?
Hiring, firing.
But what I'm getting at is that when you're going through this budget FY '26, okay, there's that move there that the board was aware and it's being paid, okay? So whatever that rate is, it's there, all right? So, but everything else as far as, even like the planner is at $84,872 because there was no change by any town manager on that. I will say that the zoning administrator, and I'm just going to say for me, since I am the zoning administrator, this board, not this board, but a previous full board, Bill, you were one of them, and Ricky, you were one, that was knocked down to, I believe, $43,000.
Whatever's in the book. Whatever was in the book.
Well, no, what's in the book is 73,000, so just so you know.
No.
Which book are you reading?
I'm reading the FY,
Yes,
25.
that's,
okay, well, no, that was, whatever, I'm not gonna get into that, but it says $73,000 for the zoning administrator, which was approved by a previous board, or two previous boards.
47.
is that
Okay,
the right fiscal year?
yeah, it is, FY '26, which we're in today, okay?
FY '26 was approved
Oh.
at 73,000.
Right.
During that
And-
time.
but
it was
what
put
I'm-
to
but what I'm-
I
part-time.
understand.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is that the board held a meeting in July and cut it down to what?
Part-time, which would be 47.
Okay, so that line item, so what I'm saying is, don't go by that here. Put it
Yeah,
at 47.
it is not a matching of last year's budget, it is a
Matching of
current
current.
status.
Well,
Yeah.
right, but I'm gonna tell you that there is coming down to about 47, okay?
Right, that's-
But everybody else, because that position that position and the police chief are the only ones, and the public works director that's not here yet, are the only ones that have changed from this book.
There's a few other ones, yes, that have changed, but they would, again, not be part of,
Oh, okay, so then once
like,
again.
fire
so
chief changed.
The fire chief changed, I mean, I think that went, so whatever it is, that's down.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do that. And then
Will left.
Will
well,
left,
but
which
so
is
we're not-
also
so-
still removed out because.
Because it's, we're
that
not, we're on
position
a
was
hiring
removed
freeze or
prior
whatever,
to
okay?
the forming.
So FY '26, the finance manager was at 95,500, and don't blow up, but I believe since the finance manager has been hired by a previous town manager,
That
he
gets
offered
red.
he offered 100, so that's in there, okay? And this
Yep.
is just another thing, John, where you come back to, and Bill, it's like, the board is supposed to be approving any raises, and it was not brought to us. But we are not here to hurt any employees that are getting paid on their paycheck at
Right,
this
I
point.
think the operating rule is,
What the
they're
check,
get, what do they get, what their check is now.
right,
That's the
okay.
operating rule.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
so.
And you want me to do that
And
across
it's
the
not
board?
necessarily, I think
Across
what-
the board.
What you're pointing out, it's not necessarily what was in the 27.
I am not picking
Yeah,
out
right,
these
you're not- right.
people, I am
Right.
making it so it's
Right.
clear that don't go back to this number.
Want me to include?
Yeah, you can't go
So
back to the
for
26
now, if you can
budget.
go to the zoning administrator's 47.
Yeah.
Okay, can you go to the finance director, finance
That is-
manager?
I have a question for you, though. So we put in here a line item for basically what the cost of COLA would be for the union members if it were to go into effect. Do you want me to leave that in the budget or remove that from the
Remove it
budget?
because we're gonna go into negotiations, and I wanna treat all employees equal, so I
So
don't know.
we may then have a situation where we under budget our
We'll
budget.
deal with that when it comes to the negotiations, okay? We'll
Okay.
deal with it, okay?
Okay.
I mean, the board is allowed to, if it's not budgeted, and there is something, 3%, 2%, 5%, 8%, I don't know what, we're gonna be negotiating. We can correct that fee there in 2 years from now in our budget, okay? That's what we're allowed to do. So for now, we're not gonna put that in because we're taking away from, not taking away, but we're keeping everybody frozen with their salaries.
So we're going
Jim,
to create a known deficit
Jim,
budget.
to clarify,
Okay.
is basically for labor-related issues. Okay, Patrick is supposed to put in place current salary activities for all employees. Okay, not just going strictly by the 2026 budget, but taking into account that some employees have
They're
different
given a
pay
raises.
that was
Yep.
in the 2026 budget that's been incorporated into the 2027 budget.
No,
So
no,
there is some
no, they've been
blending.
incorporated into the 26 budget.
Well, all right, yeah, but there'll be some blending between the budgets. Some items in the current 2027 budget will go down, okay, because they have to reflect what the 2026 salaries were. Some elements in the 2027 budget that we already bumped up, because those people were hired intra-budget period,
Correct.
okay, they will stay the same. So it's not a universal cut everywhere, it's taking into account
No, I understand.
individual employees.
It's what they're
There's,
getting paid
there's
now.
some people I left in the 3% for positions that were not in the union.
And we're just saying.
And so you say just remove all of it out
Remove
for
that.
now?
Remove
Okay.
Yeah, remove that.
And do not account for it anywhere else?
Right.
Okay, so you're gonna,
Okay.
you're gonna come back to us with that, and we will go through everybody when we have an agreement, and I personally
Knowing
think
that
that
we
everybody.
may
I
have a
don't thi-
deficit budget.
Yeah, knowing that we might have a deficit budget.
Okay.
Okay, but where I'm coming from is that if X is higher than 3, then there are other employees to me than 3%. There are other employees in this town just because they may be part-time, may be seasonal. I mean, we've always treated everybody across the board with one number, and that's why I'm getting at, so that's why I
Okay.
was keeping it frozen, and hopefully we work through this. And once again, to the police representative,
we
it's
can
the first
also-
time I've ever heard, and
Well, I think the
which is
thing
whatever,
that, the
so-
thing that we want to make sure is that we're working in good faith with the unions.
Yes.
Okay, we want to understand, okay, what
I
is
wouldn't,
possible.
we just, we're
okay?
gonna be fair, that's all.
But we have to set a budget at the same time and bring it to the voters.
Right.
Okay, so we have to walk the line between those two.
So
forces.
For specific items, you can also,
Yeah.
if a small, I would recommend for smaller items, bigger things is, you'll have larger discussions. But if there's smaller items that you want to account for, such as a cost of living, You can also do a memorandum of agreement with the unions prior to having a full negotiation.
And we're not gonna get,
so that
because
can
we need
account
to
for that
talk
in our
to,
current
we need to
budget.
talk to our attorney, because
Yeah,
I
we
don't
gotta
want to,
work-
I don't want to get into a conversation, because then,
Lose leverage. We shouldn't
not, we're
discuss
not gonna
this.
lose, there's no, don't say, there's no leverage. There's no leverage, this is a fair thing.
gotta be
Stop
legal.
that. It's fair.
Yeah.
That's all, so
Our
whatever.
responsibility is to bring a
Okay.
budget to the voters that's
Right.
built under the best
So can I
of
get
our
a motion
ability.
just to keep, other than those few positions
Yeah.
that I just mentioned,
Yeah, the ones that are,
that I just mentioned,
basically
okay?
just go with the current.
Current with,
Yep.
okay, and then, well, the current plus the Public Works Director at 110.
Yes.
Okay, and the changes that I had said to make sure, so
picking
you
up
can
what
put
you're-
from there,
what you're
okay?
going down.
Can I get a motion to instruct the town manager to do as said, of going through each employee, confirming, getting back to us and confirming the numbers,
Sure.
okay, for salary.
Do you want
So
to
that's
touch on
number one.
other items in the budget?
So, well, we just, can I get a motion?
So-
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all, any other discussion?
Well, I would, maybe it's a separate motion, but I would also like to have a motion for the town manager to identify which employees are in what union, okay, so that as we're doing
Well,
future
that we'll
budgets.
get into, we have a legal on, later on, and we'll get into that and come out.
Well, I just
with a-
want to make sure we have the
Yeah,
count
so we
right,
have
so
a
that we
motion on
know-
the, we have a motion on.
I'm not interested in the employee names, I'm interested in.
Numbers?
Yeah, what number,
Okay,
who's
but-
being covered in the various departments.
We have a motion on the table
positions, yes.
for
Positions are
the
covered.
pay across.
Right.
Okay. Any other discussion on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? All right, Bill can bring his up underneath, later underneath legal.
Okay, yeah, okay,
All
fine.
right, so
But I
now,
would-
what else do
Yes.
you have in the budget that you presented to us, Patrick?
Well, that's where do you guys want to go from here? I talked to a vendor about, I lost my mouse, here we go. About the, as I know, roads were a concern and cost of the roads. Very likely for what is already in the budget, that 230, for under that amount, we can take care of the uphill travel lane on Killington Access Road where it's real bad, and part of Coffee House Road.
So spot work.
More than spot work. It would just be, but it would just be focused on that lane. We wouldn't do the whole road because.
That's fine.
Yeah.
What is actually going to physically happen?
You gonna shim it?
So, no, so they would chew up that side of the road and relay pavement, basically from the Markowski knuckle, right where Markowski finished at the top of Anthony Way, or across from Anthony Way. From there up to likely close to Sushioshi.
So it's a mill and pave.
It's a mill and pave. That
It's
was the
sorta like
recommendation.
It's sort of like what Killington Ski Resort did a few years ago,
Yeah.
where they didn't do a whole rebuild, but they went and they did sections at
Yeah.
a time.
And so it's a way to do it so that we get the worst of it, and then we can hot patch the other side in-house. And it's a way to get temporary improvement before we know we're gonna rip the whole thing out
And
anyway.
you said around 230, is that what you said?
Under.
Under 230?
Yep, yeah.
Okay, so
So
that's-
for that and Coffee House Road.
okay,
When
so
is the raise grant targeted to begin digging in that section?
28.
28.
Yeah, I was looking for Lisa.
No,
28.
28. I know that. So it's 28.
So
So,
it's
I mean,
it's
I'm
just
gonna
to
get,
take out
listen,
yes.
I'm gonna
Start.
I'm gonna get my, we have, if I go into the recreation budget or whatever, what page is that on?
Let me see where in the, I can give you a general.
I wanna go into the, not regulars, the, what are they?
Patrick, did you specifically stop at Sushioshi? Is that, like, I know you didn't, like,
We're gonna get a bid that's gonna come in.
no, I
and
know,
we're
I know
gonna
that,
have
but
to-
I'm just thinking, like, past that, Dark Side is horrible in front of Dark Side still.
Right in that area.
All right.
Yeah, it's basically, once you start going uphill,
Right,
there's
starts
less,
slipping
Yeah, it gets
back.
better.
but
Yeah.
in that flat area.
Is there any way to include interim road repairs as part of the prep work and include it under the raise grant?
I don't believe so, because it has to go with
No.
I'm
engineering.
reaching.
I know,
I'm
I
reaching.
like where your head's at.
I'm reaching.
But
Okay.
we're not going there. So I'm gonna
No.
go to appropriations.
Appropriations.
You're gonna go into it. No, it's not appropriations.
what are you looking
Not
for, Buzz?
appropriations. You know, bonded, capital projects,
Capital projects.
capital projects.
That'd be
It's
right
the-
near the end, about the
yeah,
third
it's the
one
second
from the
page,
back.
it's the second page.
No last.
last or whatever. I'm gonna get my butt handed to me or whatever, but I don't know where the budget's gonna go. I don't know, whatever, but the recreation pool fund, I think we
Recreation
should.
capital?
Recreation pool fund,
Pool fund, yep.
okay. $75,000 there, I think for this 1 year should be pulled. You
We
can-
have a
you-
budget, like, do
You
we
can
have a
tell me that
balance on
it's
that?
for every
Is
single
Kirsten
year
here?
that the voters, but they didn't, because they voted just for that year.
No.
You know,
That
that's
was,
just,
that was set up and it was for each year.
yeah, so I would like to have onto the ballot or whatever, but we'll recheck that, okay? I'll pull up the actual vote or whatever.
Can we get a balance on that, too?
You
Like,
know,
whatever what's in?
the balance is in here, John.
Oh, it's in there? Where was it?
Yeah.
No,
So,
balance isn't in there.
there's a balance on one, it's not in this, but there is on,
I think it was in the book.
Yeah,
it's in the book,
Oh, it's in the book.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in the book.
you
John,
know.
I'm right behind you if you need to
Okay.
clarify anything.
Do you happen to know the answer, like,
I didn't hear what you guys were talking about.
on the pool fund?
Do you know how much is in it?
Oh, let me look.
It's nice having that.
Be nice every time.
Yeah.
I gotta log in, so it'll take me a minute. so
That's
we can-
fine. We're gonna be here for a minute, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
And I do know that if we're on this page, something that's been brought up, that the Fire Department Vehicle Capital Fund at 220, that needs to be re-examined, because that was based on older numbers, and since that time, the costs on trucks have like tripled. Yeah, they've tripled.
Budget for.
Well, we have already there, so we're not changing it at this point while we go through. I'm sorry.
The-
That's what I said.
No, that is for, that is to put into the capital funds for buying the new trucks. And so it was based off of historic values that have now tripled. So it's a kind of too low. So right now our trucks, Billy, correct me if I'm wrong, our trucks are fine, but if we know that in some point in the future, we will need to buy a truck.
Sure.
And the amount that we're putting in is not necessarily going to cover the purchase of the truck at that time.
It won't, not even close.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something that we will need to look at.
The future is last year.
Yeah, yeah.
The recreation pool is $526,544.50. That was as of June 30th, 2025. So you should be adding another $75,000 in for this 2026. So call it 602 or whatever, $601,544.
And I think the current plan they're looking at right now is about 8 million.
Yeah, so,
So we're a long ways away.
no, because there would be a bond vote for it.
No, I get it. I'm just
Okay. So,
The pool fund is currently sitting at $601,544.50.
Thank you.
2 cents, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
get the 50 cents.
So, where else are you looking at, Patrick?
Well, the way we left it at our last meeting, you guys said you had some plans to go from, so I do
Yeah,
not know
well,
what
then we
those plans
got
are.
throwing something in the newspaper that we have to now stay back on. I mean, that's what,
Okay.
when.
So-
Were you looking at this during the week, or trying to figure out other
So,
places?
other areas or whatever?
This is where I got, without direction from you guys.
Well, we.
I put back
You
the
can't take
medical-
direction from us until we have a meeting and we're in open.
Yeah.
You can't take it from us individually.
And so I'm asking for direction. I was
Okay,
asking
so-
for direction
so
last
can-
time.
So how about we take a little break and you can go through and start going through each and every one and lowering it down to take the 3% off going from there for this current time.
That's going to take a little bit longer than this meeting. But if you would like other areas to look at, we can do that.
Just a quick question. Bituminous resurfacing, is that?
That's paving of the road.
230,000?
No, that would be-
That is the
That's
that
the
is
paving of the road.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
the same
So
thing.
you're saying that in that fund, we can get the uphill lane?
Yeah,
Ish.
yeah, through
Ish.
this amount, we can
Yeah.
cover it. So, because I know the idea was maybe bumping it to 400,000 or not, but,
Really, yeah.
yeah.
Well, having gone up and down the road, it seems like that one uphill lane is the one that's damaged. The downhill lane doesn't seem to get beat up because the uphill plows catch
Yeah.
stuff and dig it up.
Again, other than that, I still feel confident we have a good budget. We're kind of getting to the point at it where there is not much to trim. We have,
Well, it's up to the voters to vote yes or no, so
Yeah.
we don't get.
so that's, well, I'm
We're
saying
your
that's where
boss
I'm
and they're
at
our
is,
bosses, and go
that-
from
that's where I'm
there.
at, is unless you guys have other direction, like, we're
so
generally
where
in a
are
good
we
spot
at?
minus those 3%
We don't know where we're
corrections.
at.
Where,
No,
percentage increase.
tax revenue or the taxation, we had discussed the lease to the post office, and you were going to clarify the tax situation there, which is not insignificant
But
money.
that's not gonna do anything, because we bill them, we pay it.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
not
just- it's
capped.
just, it's,
We
we
can't
we
transfer.
have to pay it, and then we bill them.
Right.
I pulled it up the other day, it was $18,000
Their
for
percent, their
this
portion.
current year that the last payment was, so I'm pretty sure it was 15 or 16,000 last year, so,
collect that?
no, we haven't collected it.
So it's
But it
helpful.
could be money coming too, but it's really,
Yeah,
you know.
I gotta touch back
in
with our
future-
attorneys on that, yeah.
Well, I have the lease agreement that says,
Well, that one has a written down piece, that's the one that has just the number written in.
well, but it also says
And
that if
reference
you
an
break.
email.
No, but if you break, no, it's the actual lease agreement, and it says that, well, like when, I forget what the name of the corporation was that owned it underneath Cliff or whatever, okay?
Yeah,
It
but
it
I
was,
have to
it's a
see
whole
how
bill,
it-
it said 31 point something percent, but if the town was to just break out theirs it says it right in the lease, and 100% of just that section there. And the listers, I asked them for the lister's card on that, and the lister's card has like the building at, let's say, 1.7 something million dollars as a whole. And then they subtracted out 1.2 million and change for the town side, which left $528,000 for the post office. And then that bill at $528,000 times this current year's tax rate is around 18,000 and change. And so if that's that, then the year before was probably around
15,
16,000
yeah,
or
15, 16,
whatever, okay? And I'm not really sure when the lease kicked in, for how many months, so we're gonna have to
Yeah.
take a look at it.
I think there's
I'll
a
drop
couple,
that
there's a
paper-
couple of issues with the lease
I
that
will
I've
drop that
identified.
paperwork off tomorrow afternoon, because I have 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock down in Rutland for the bus.
Sure.
So, I want to bring up the bus underneath.
That's
I
under
think it's on the-
appropriations, I
yeah.
believe.
So, the bus. During COVID times, the bus was getting funds for everything, just like everybody. Everybody got funds for COVID. And then, at some point, it came back, we were paying $33,000, okay, for the bus. And then I think 1 year before was 25 for, I don't know why, but whatever, it was 25 and 25. We went into an MOU for 65,000 for the past winter that just ended Easter Sunday. I think we're around 14 or 15 now shy on invoices that were sent. I will talk to the bus to see if they'll release that tomorrow from us and working forward. But I think as a board, that to continue to fund a nighttime bus, we should do it just for this 1 year, because now they're coming back and saying, it's $158,000 to run the bus. No, it's all year, which is not really bad. It's, $158,000, I believe, is the number. Don't hold me to the dollar amount, but it's under 160. And now to come out, and we've been putting money in, I think we should have a vote added saying that this number here will go to, say, 65,000 to cover the shortfall, okay? Cover one last time of, let's say, $50,000, and say that this is a one-time, and they have until this time next year to figure out how all of the businesses in town, all the way down to Rutland, should be figuring out how to pay for this bus at nighttime. We kick in money in the regular appropriations, it used to be like $1,200. That number is gonna go up to $1,500. It's gonna work its way up to around $11,000 or $12,000 over the next couple of years, because we have to give a match. Rutland City I think, is paying like $80,000 right now for their match for the daytime, and they're talking over the next 5 years going up to like 260 to 300, okay? So I think the town should start getting back to where we just do the daytime bus, but for this one last time, I'd like to see
So are you saying an article vote?
an article vote, because it's
Okay.
in appropriation, so
Right.
anytime that something's gonna
Yeah.
get raised,
You have to go
we're
through an
supposed to go for a vote. But then explaining to the voters that this would be a one-time we're just gonna do it, and then also some way have it voted in the article saying that,
Are you saying, just so I get the wording for the article correctly, are you saying this is a one-time at 65 and after that it reverts back to the 33? Or are you saying after that?
No, it goes to the
it's nothing?
daytime. No, it's the daytime, which is we're gonna have to talk to the bus, and
Find
I'll
out
get
that.
you the numbers after tomorrow's meeting. They have a schedule that they're supposed to put out.
Okay.
They say they emailed it to
Which, the
a
daytime-
town manager, but I think they did it before you, okay? So,
Yeah.
okay, no, there was something before you,
Yeah.
okay, which laid out whatever. I just know that it should have been $1,500 for this budget.
The daytime is the municipal match.
7 a.m. to 6 p.m., the last bus going down.
And that's what they haven't charged us for years, right?
I don't know what they,
Or-
I-
It's unclear what we got charged for.
I'm not in accounts
Okay.
payable, I'm not in,
Well, you're the bus contact.
yeah, but I'm not in accounts payable, so I don't know what they billed you. They don't know what they billed you. So, so I would just like to see that as a vote,
As an article.
as an article, and I'll sit down with you on there. And I think that's really all we can do here, guys, as far as,
So just so be clear, you want to increase the appropriation for the bus to 65,000?
I want to do a one-time up it to 65 and then back down just to the,
So I wouldn't
you're
put
going to have to
that,
ask legal.
I wouldn't put that in here. It would be so the number we get on here would be separate from the article vote. Okay,
Right.
so leave this at 33.
Leave that at 33,
Yep.
and then there will be an
Additional,
An additional, that's what I'm trying to say.
32.
additional 32.
Additional 32.
Okay.
So is that going to be a separate article?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be a separate article. And we go from there. So I don't think there's anything else in here that we can really, unless you guys want to go through this budget and start,
Well, I think we
Making cuts that you don't even
addressed
know.
the pertinent issues. I think, we're going to start to beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So I can make those final changes and then bring it back at our next regular meeting.
yeah.
At that time, if it gets adopted, we
Well, while we're-
will
yes.
do the warnings, we'll do all the rest of the stuff,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
So you have, right now, based upon this particular worksheet,
Yeah.
you have a percentage increase of 8.65.
And I'll probably, taking out the COLA and some of that, it'll float it up slightly.
Is that what the $200,000 for the
For the,
forensic audit?
yes.
Yeah, so,
This
That is
includes
something
that?
that does.
Oh, wow.
yeah, no, it has the forensic audit in
Wow,
it.
wow.
you know.
Okay, you're saying the 3% COLA is going to increase this?
Slightly.
Yeah.
Because we took out what was set aside for those, and then we're going to reduce individual positions. There's going to be a net slight positive.
So basically.
Positive, so it's gonna be down.
Basically,
No.
The
Taxable rate is going to go up slightly because we pulled out, I had 30,000 in there to cover COLAs that would go to the union if that were to go into effect. You had me pull those out, but you also want me to pull out all other COLAs, which is a lesser amount than the,
Let's just wait for the, we gave.
so yeah,
them
no, sorry,
instruction.
yes, that should bring it down.
Yeah, yeah, that's
like-
right.
down slightly,
Sorry,
yeah.
down slightly.
Yeah, you should come down, you should come
Yeah,
down.
no,
It should come down a couple of.
Yes, thank you, thank
It should
you.
come down a couple of percent based upon the.
That's why it's,
Or
no,
a
no.
percent based on
All
the
right.
push on salaries.
We're
Right, and then
clear
go up on
on
the
it.
other
It just,
things.
it needs a little sugar pickup. He's got it.
Yeah, I've been working since.
Is that in the budget?
That's not in the budget.
No, that's just something else that you and I bought. Maybe we should. Page
So
one,
it's not going to change the percentage much. We're just going to clean up what we got, and then we can actually move forward.
3, 4, page 5, taxes, option. Okay, so. FY 2026.
Where's my mouse? There we go. Oh, tax, options tax?
Yeah.
And then I can also,
All we have in here is what we budgeted, I believe. We
Yes.
don't have our actuals. Can you pull
not
that up?
currently.
Does somebody have, I mean, I think the next payment is the first quarter, should be coming out
Yeah,
shortly.
Shortly. And that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
I do believe that, and Kirsten, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe 2 and 3 came in around expected, quarter 4 came in slightly higher than expected. Options tax.
I believe so.
That's what I believe. I'd have to,
We'd have to go back to it.
Pull our
too, and
number.
just-
oh, sorry, right here, Mike.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't believe we're
I'm in
under.
Denver, give me a second.
It's in our last budget.
Yeah.
It's in our last week's meeting, I think, or 2 weeks ago meeting,
That's on.
last quarter.
Yep.
Last month. I think the 140 was down, like 110 or 120 or whatever. I think. I left my work phone, thankfully, in my car, so it's not.
Quarter 2 came in a little low, quarter 3 came in about what we expected, quarter 4 came in over what we expected.
Yeah, so those 3 kind of are in the total, are in the ballpark, and we're just waiting on,
Kirsten, can you just give us the numbers for quarter 2?
Quarter 2,
Yes,
it looks like we budgeted 73 and we received 52.
right.
52?
52. Quarter 3, we budgeted 100,
Then we received 94,969.
call it 95. Quarter 4, 140 budgeted,
We received 191,890.
so that about makes it call that 190, just call that 191 to offset there.
890?
What's that?
Did you say
190, 190, because I said 95 on the other one.
yeah,
192 if we're rounding.
Yeah, but,
that's,
39.
I believe partly, in part because out west had a terrible snow season, and we got all of it. Take that.
Right now, we're positive 39.
we're at,
Colorado, I don't like it.
we're at 338,
hard to
I
believe.
got right now.
39 over.
You know, so we budgeted
668
643,
total.
you know, so, okay. And we came down to 600 on the 2027. So, you know, that could be somewhere that if the fourth quarter comes in after the next, or the first quarter, I'm sorry, comes in higher, then it's just a positive to the,
Are
Yeah,
these
yeah.
quarters calendar or?
no,
just-
no, no. And they're not even,
They're different, I
Yeah,
think they're
they're-
based off October?
well, first of all, it's
No.
like January, February, March, I think
That's
is.
quarter.
Is
There's always a
quarter.
delay in
Yeah. Quarter one
reporting
to
them
May,
because of delay in
That's what it
collections.
is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But then you have to file by the 15th of the following month.
Yeah.
And by the time they do it, you don't get it until like February.
Yeah, it's something
It
crazy.
it rolls up like 2
So-
months
so it's
later
still in
than,
the
exactly, yeah.
It's something different, I'm just telling you. There, I think that the state's on the July 1 to June 30th quarter also,
Okay.
so it goes. But then they do something weird, it's not even a real quarter. It's like February, March, April. You know? It's not January, February, March, it's like February, March, April. I forget what it is,
Oh,
but.
yeah, I don't
it's
know.
not even the
It's
same as
not-
our
it's not
fiscal
even-
year.
Right,
no,
yeah, no,
it's
it's
not.
not.
It's
But it's
its
not
own
even
thing.
like what you think a quarter is. You think a quarter is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September? No, it's not.
State's playing the float.
Yeah, you know, so.
we start in the middle
I was
of
just
the month,
hoping to
end of the
see
month.
if we got a number in on that.
No, we haven't got Q,
Okay.
we haven't got
So-
that first quarter in yet.
So other than that, does the board have any other questions on this budget that we've given Patrick another set of instructions to come back with another set of numbers showing those changes?
So
just
just to
make
clarify, the changes are in the COLA is the 3%, and I'm not showing the 65 in the bus because that's going to be an article vote.
Right.
You want me to
34,
look?
35, right? It'd be 35 and change, right?
Sorry, the delta.
32,
The delta is the
30, yeah, it's on
32.
the 32.
And then the rec pool fund, we want me to check
I'll
back
look
on the?
into it. I'll look
Okay.
into it.
Okay, so we'll leave that as, we can always add, remove.
And no, and
Well, right now, we're not
healthcare
doing anything.
gets reset.
Healthcare is reset at,
Yeah.
or is budgeted at the current level of 3% with the high deductible gold
Right.
and 75 HRA wrap.
Right,
Yep.
okay. And then, just to make sure, yeah, I'll go to the audience, so.
Well, our finance director has one question on that.
Yeah, well, you can- whoever can, we're talking.
No, yeah, I'm just saying
Okay.
when you're done.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And we just want to make sure that the changes to those, like the chief and the public
Yep.
works.
It's
and
the
finance
current, it's not the
director,
past budget, is the
and then
current.
even-
Yep.
And then even downing the slot for me, down to, because it says in here, 73 for the 2020.
No, it says 47.
47, but, okay, but we're going back to the 20, so make sure it stays that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's all. All right, so does anybody in the board have any other questions? Okay, I'm looking to the audience. Does anybody in the audience have any questions? Go ahead, Andrew. Say your name.
Andrew Gedda, are you guys considering that the diesel cost is gonna double, like, in the last month? Diesel cost went from $3.95 to $6, and you guys are budgeting, so I'd like you guys to consider that.
You know, that kind of brings up another question to me on, when I signed the warrants, thanks for reminding me, Andrew. When I signed the warrants the other day, or a week ago, or whatever, it looks like we're still paying some federal excise tax, and it's just a matter of filling out a form.
Let me check on
That's
that.
what I thought. I
on
looked at
on
the invoice.
Diesel?
For gasoline.
Gas?
Or diesel, the diesel. And I think every year you just have to sign an
Yeah.
exemption form. And
It's
maybe in the mix of
minimal
managers
thing.
or whatever, it wasn't done.
I will check
Okay?
on that.
So just check to make sure. I could have sworn, maybe I'm wrong, I was sitting in that other office in the back there, and I was signing the warrants, and then I went to the Irving diesel bill, and I thought I saw,
I'll check on that, yeah.
Taxes. I know
Because,
for-
right,
I know
I think
for a
you're right
long
that it's
time-
every year you're supposed to.
yeah, every year you're supposed to do it, and if you don't do it, then you start getting charged the taxes, and it's not gonna make up the change of
Yeah.
$2 a gallon, but.
Do you want any increase to the diesel/gas lines? Or
You
do you
know.
want to roll the dice that the straight
Well,
will open up?
we're not gonna
and
use the
everything
word
will
roll
go
the dice, I mean,
You're multiple months anyways.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
out to July where it starts,
Yeah.
so, you know, and this is where.
That's a tough one.
I know, like, when a new board came on last year, you guys were so into, like, and I'm not knocking it, Bill or Ricky, but like being like right on that day or whatever, that month. This is one of the reasons why the statute allows a board to either carry forward a loss, to raise, or to carry forward for
Surplus.
things that we can't budget. So we're probably, in this year's budget, having that problem now. I don't know where we're gonna be in July.
And the only problem with carry forwards one way or another is a surprise. Okay, and so in the budget, it should be identified as a risk.
You know,
Yeah.
Okay.
so, okay, but it's all right, but you can't always, every.
No, you
because,
can't-
like,
you can't get
because
the number
risk is
exactly.
happening, the risk is happening now,
The risk is happening now.
and who knew we were gonna be where we are today?
Nobody.
Okay?
Right. But yeah,
So-
you just identify that as, anything like that, Patrick, you should identify as a risk.
Okay.
Okay, so for instance, okay, there's inflationary pressure that's gonna
But-
get a little
that-
weird.
that-
Yep,
That's a risk.
That's a risk.
Okay,
All
so.
All of our projects are a risk
Right,
of that.
yeah.
A blacktop will be affected by the diesel price.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
So,
All right, so is that it for, hold on one second, see, I do see your hand, okay? You know. Any question? John, any question?
I'm
Any,
good.
any question? Steve?
I
Hold. He skipped back.
The line striping, I had asked if you would look at an alternate source other than L&D so we could
Yep.
expedite the striping. Have you done that yet?
Haven't got to that.
It's a couple $100,000, right?
I think it's
No,
200.
no.
I think it's
Unless things
200,000.
change, I don't think there is.
For
anyway.
FEMA, no,
Oh,
what he's getting
not
at
the
is,
cost. The
Companies in
reimbursement.
Massachusetts, but they won't come up this far. Maybe they've changed, but when I was there, we tried getting somebody else and you couldn't.
Besides the guy that we did.
That's the problem. It's why you're kind of at their mercy.
Well, it comes back to the board, when that bid was put out, and we were told that the line striping was included in that bid.
It was not in the contract.
But it's not in the contract,
not
but
in
we
the
were
contract.
told that it was going to be.
I do not remember.
No, I could go
Going
back
forward,
to
it might not be a bad idea to put it in there
Put it into
and have Pike or
But we
Wilk,
had that
whoever.
conversation with
they have more
the
leverage
public
than we do.
works
Yes.
director at that time.
What's the budget on that? 200,000?
Oh, no. So,
No, it's
It's
FEMA.
holding up release of money for two.
Yes.
So it's a FEMA thing where we get, so this gets back to when we look at our restricted or reserve funds, when we were looking at last month, there's a negative number in the hit and miss, right?
yes. It's
Yeah.
under bid and miss.
And the reason why it's negative is because we're waiting on, we will not get the reimbursement until the striping is done on the roads, but we were told by Public Works
What is
that-
the budget on the striping?
So the budget is, it's, I think the roads, it said to me it was between 30 and 40 grand to get,
Something like that.
Yes, it's based on the linear feet of the road.
Which
And so
roads do we need to
That
do?
one is going to be River Road, East Mountain Road, West Hill Road.
Definitely West Hill.
and it's 30.
I know, that affects you.
Is that included in the 230?
No.
That has its own.
It has its own, so there
We
is
got that
money,
number.
there's money in for striping or whatever, but then it's gonna have to be replaced or whatever. So we get that if it is 30,000 or 40,000, once it's done,
We then get $200,000.
Yeah.
from FEMA.
From FEMA.
So not once it's done,
When
when
FEMA
pays us.
is ready.
Right, but the sooner you get it done, the faster
The
you get
faster
your
you get
money
the
back.
paperwork in, you
Yep.
know.
So then that will be like a
L&D will be here at
positive to
Thanksgiving.
that fitness.
Yeah, I know, we are,
Wait till your freebie from the state before that,
Yeah.
actually.
we're on them because they know that
I'm just gonna say, like, that
did
first
not get to
year,
us.
yeah, I'll admit the first year with the guy that, I was told the same thing, whatever, and Chet then said, well, you go get somebody. And the first year, yeah, there was areas that was squiggly. The second year, he was better.
Yeah.
He started working it
Yeah.
out, but,
I mean, it lasts a season.
and then, well, it lasted, some of it lasted.
No, I'm just saying
season.
in general, like around here, I mean, this stuff.
Right,
lasts.
if you got a
out there, and
squiggly
he-
line,
and he
you'll
has
get
the
time to
machine.
fix
If we
it.
can get our
I've
money
seen
6
squiggly
months
li-
faster,
I've seen squiggly lines
I like
on
the
the
squiggly
state
lines.
road or whatever. I've seen them I've seen them on Route 4, I've seen them down in Rutland on 7.
Helps people leaving the bar.
I think the thing on that is George was right in the citizens' comments. It's called, the projects weren't being managed. Okay, so the line striping wasn't done in
And then we got
concurrent with
somebody
the
in
paving.
first, the guy
Yeah.
Corey, I think his
Yeah.
name was. They
And
just
that's a
did,
problem that we've had, so we gotta fix that going forward.
he just did at first, he just did like the crosswalks and the stop signs. And then we went into a thing that we bought the machine until he paid off for whatever, and it's done. So Steve, I'm gonna let you speak, but I see an employee, the finance director, raising her hand in the back, so before we get into another question, what do you have, Kirsten?
Well, one, I just wanted to make sure to clarify, I keep hearing FEMA tossed around about the $200,000, it's actually V-Trans, so I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page with it. The other thing, just because I was curious, because John had brought it up earlier about the Platinum Plan, I had actually pulled some rough numbers while you guys were in executive session, and I didn't know if you wanted to see them or not, but I wanted to make sure that you knew that they were
Because
available.
we have to follow what we were doing all along
We
anyway.
have to do the current.
We have
I
to
know,
do the
I just
current.
wanted
No.
to, for the sake of everybody's
No.
sanity,
No.
in case you wanted to see it, so.
Yeah, Platinum's more,
Yeah,
we know
so-
that.
So Steve, go ahead, you've got your hand up first.
I just wanted to say that since the discussion came up about the 220,000 that's being put in the capital replacement for the fire department capital fund, and we've all agreed that that's number's not enough.
But we haven't agreed on that yet.
Let me rephrase that. It was stated that the price of apparatus has tripled, and therefore the amount being put in might not be appropriate.
Okay.
And I would strongly urge the board to put something above that 220. How much, I don't know, but
We'll wait for the other stuff to come back, and then that kind of drive things.
The other numbers?
Yeah, I mean, it's, because we're also looking at more money for the roads or whatever, right?
Well, I didn't think you were looking for more number for the roads. You're looking at the
Well, we
rec
can't
and-
make a decision of what's going extra, as Steve Finer is saying, or the roads until we kind of see what this leads us to, and then we'll have that quick discussion.
Well-
Hopefully, we should have this meeting next Monday night.
Well, the only major change is, not major change, the only change is the 3% COLA that's coming out, and that is not, it's 50,000 maybe.
Well, I would disagree with that, because then you're gonna have to go through everything, because that 50,000 has VEMR's, that 50,000 has FICA, that 50,000 has Social Security, there's a whole bunch of things. You're gonna have to go through, and you're gonna have to do that. There's usually when somebody gets paid $30,000, that might be like 25, 30% on top of that for the different things. So
Yeah,
that's what
just
you're gonna
on
have to
your
work
end.
through, so that's what people have to realize and go through that. So, so I'm looking for like different, a budget with this, with those changes, and then we can have a conversation like, what is an extra $50,000 gonna do to the fire department? But I can't agree with you right now, Steve. I know you understand. I can't agree with until I see what the next step is. Do you agree with that, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of worthy projects that we would like to fund, but there's also a lot of worthy residents that can only afford to pay so much in taxes.
Yeah, so, okay. So, go ahead, Rob.
Yes, hi, Rob
Mention
Kowalski.
your name. Go ahead.
Yes, question. It's been, tomorrow will be 4 weeks since I sat down in person, that was March 17th, with the Vision reappraisal team. And I was told at that time, figure
Well,
a
can I just stop you for?
Oh, sure,
I would
go
be
ahead.
underneath the second citizens' comments. We're not.
Well, is it related to the budget?
No, I'm sorry, no, I thought you were
No,
looking for.
it's not.
So give us, give us a few minutes.
This is the budget, okay? Go ahead, George.
I didn't bring my binoculars, so I can't really see it up there. But
You should sit in the
right
front
now,
of the
on the
room.
budget that you're running, from last year's budget, are you up 8% on that, correct?
We don't know.
I don't know yet.
It's in that ballpark.
It's in that ballpark. Okay, that's all I need to know.
Okay. Anybody else in the audience?
And again, specifically for the municipal tax amount to be collected.
Right.
No, I understand some of this was.
Can you screen over to the Zoom?
Real quick before, follow-up question on the fire truck. Have used values also been trending upward like most higher value used cars? So in other words, when we're done with the fire truck, historically, what do we do with it? I only lack
So
knowledge.
to answer, real quickly, historically, we've worked with one of two apparatus sales companies, and we can get an appraisal, and then they sell it.
Do we have any sense of whether values as they have in like?
John?
I'm just trying to get a sense
So
of.
I'll make it
you
real
can have
quick.
that
Jim.
conversation.
The values of what the used vehicles are have gone up, but not as much as what a new truck costs.
No, I understand that.
Bring it up
yeah.
before
This is,
10.
this is where we get sidetracked.
No, that's fine. I'm
Steve
just trying to get a sense
doesn't
of-
have it at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking on the Zoom. Is there anybody on Zoom that has a question?
Regarding budget.
Budget. Not seeing it.
Yes, can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead, Jan. And it's Jan Rich.
I may be wrong, but I thought I heard that we were paying someone else to plow the post office
Correct.
town hall parking lot, is that true?
That is correct.
Why are
And-
we doing that?
Well, I'm just going to say that is, work conditions are staying the same, and plowing's not until next October, maybe, if we're lucky. If we're lucky, it's
lucky,
October, till
it'll be
October.
middle of
So
February.
it doesn't really matter at this point, but
Say that, affect your revenue.
That's true.
work conditions stay the same, and there are plowing contracts for certain things, just like there's landscaping contracts for certain things. So thank you for the question, Jan, but I don't want to get into that, all right? Because it's not the time or the place. Are there any other questions from online? Not seeing any, Patrick.
I
The
think we
next
have,
thing is town manager's
manager's.
report.
Yep. Give me a second. Up. So we submitted our, so town manager's report, just a few updates. One, I was going to update you on the road, but we talked about that the possibility we can get that. Yeah, good. So we don't need to do that again. I did meet with Markowski and VHB about the cobblestones and the never-ending cobblestones. And right now, the kind of recommendations are, we're either going to incur about $10,000 each year in repair costs to that. So that would be our, if we do nothing and just continue forward, about $10,000 a year in upkeep on the cobblestones. Or the recommendation was to pull them all out, pave it, and then put up a little like chain barrier, black fence chain barrier to delineate between the road and the walking path. That would give us a slight pull-off area, and it would still have barrier between the people. Markowski is writing up a proposal of what that would cost, but that didn't just give you an update, because again, we have nothing on that right now in hand, but that's the update on the cobblestones. I've met with engineering and Markowski, because they're still unpaid for that work.
So,
Well, they designed something that doesn't work, so but
Right.
we'll keep that, when we get that proposal, we'll go into legal.
Yes. Yeah,
Executive
that'd be the
session
time.
for
Just-
legal to
okay.
discuss.
I mean,
You just raised a whole bunch of concerns
Right,
on my mind.
totally.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that
Yeah.
we're looking
guys,
at, we're looking at an
he's
option
giving us
of
an
leaving it,
update.
and we're looking at an option of a correction to it. The
Understood.
correction to it has
How it's gonna
many
get
more
paid.
questions.
And how it's gonna get paid, so
But
let's just leave it.
but I'm just letting you guys know that that is
Fair.
in the pipeline, that's in the works. We also submitted, and Kirsten, correct me on what it's called exactly, it's the TIF paperwork to the stuff you got back, or you got very quickly to them? Vepsi.
Yes.
So it was our TIF paperwork to Vepsi.
Well, every year we do an audit with Pepsi. They make sure that all of our TIF paperwork is in place so that we can move forward to the next year without having to worry about losing something, missing something.
And the state rep was shocked at how quickly they got all the paperwork they needed back, and they said we were the first municipality to get it in and get it back. So they were very impressed. Great job on organizing and staying top of all the TIF documentation. That is basically it for manager's report of stuff that we haven't touched already. The select
So we
board.
have citizens' concerns. Rob, this is where,
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, so
your name,
Rob Kowalski, I'll state it again. I had met with Vision on March 17th in person. They told me at that time, expect approximately 2 weeks or so. We should hear something back one way or the other. Tomorrow is actually 4 weeks, so what I'd like to know is, knowing that getting the listers involved is our critical path after Vision.
Yep.
Right? To keep this thing moving forward, to George's comments earlier today. What have we done as a select board, town management group to work with the listers to get them to put a little bit of a request and heat on Vision to start bringing back some replies? Have we done anything?
so the select board does not, well, we're voters, but we don't vote in the listers as a select board. We vote them in as individual voters.
Okay, who do they report to?
The voters.
Just like, so, they report to, they're elected, and the town manager can have conversations with them, okay?
Day-to-day administration.
We went, well, I don't even know if you have that much, you don't have that much. You could say where we're going with it.
Yeah.
But the contract is with the town, with Vision. So you do have,
Some of that.
we don't, but you do have, like, I guess you can hop on the phone with them and, with Vision, because it is our contract. So, and say, I spoke to Vision the week before Rob.
Yeah. Have you heard anything back?
No,
Okay.
no. So,
I believe Vision is currently doing the commercial side of it.
Well, there's two different groups that
Yeah.
are doing or
So I don't know what the residential is doing.
So, my concern, I'll hit it up here since a citizen brought it up, but until the grand list, the abstract of the grand list is filed with the clerk's office, even the lister's grievance can't start until after 14 days. It's a statute. And I just happen, because I'm in the zoning and I hear, because they're over there, and, you know, one of the things is, and they are beating up Rob on Vision.
Yeah.
They're just not getting an answer.
Yep.
So maybe the town manager should
Yeah.
talk.
It seems like it would be a reasonable thing to
You
do,
know, but.
since to the point Jim just made about that 14-day hiatus, we're going to truncate our ability to go to the BCA and then ultimately have a corrected.
That's all going to happen anyway, and it's very likely our grand list is just going to be above, the initial grand list is likely going to be above what is eventually going to be the grand list.
but we don't-
And it creates a little issue when setting tax rate.
Well, we can't set a tax rate until we have, so I believe.
But we're going to set
They-
the tax rate off the one that
Oh, in
is
July.
before,
Yeah, yeah,
before
yeah.
the
Right,
BCA actually meets.
Okay.
I don't,
Guys,
no, it
excuse
might
me.
be.
Once the state
Excuse me.
certifies.
Once the state certifies
Excuse
it,
me,
and
Ralph,
then the
for a
grievance
minute.
happens.
I'm sorry, but the listers have until June 4th to file
Yes.
with the clerk the abstract.
Yep.
They have, by statute, I believe, 30 days from there for an extension if they get it approved. So it could be
could
July
be.
4th.
Yeah.
And then they can start whenever they file that with the clerk, 14 days after that, or 15
For the
days, really,
grievances.
for their side of the grievances.
Yep.
And then they have to take all the grievances, and then they have to write up their findings, and they have a certain amount of time. And I don't know what the statute is on that, okay? But there is a statute of when they have to answer back. And then those folks have like another, I don't know, 7 days, 10 days, 14 days, or whatever it is, to say, I don't agree with the listers, I would want to hear with the BCA. And then the BCA has to, so this is the way the government works, and we may not have all of the numbers until after the tax rate is set based off of the abstract plus whatever the changes maybe they agree on from their grievances that maybe happen in June, okay? But we're not going to know about any changes from either the BCA or the next step after the BCA, being they can either go to the state or they can go to Superior Court.
All right.
And that Superior Court could take a year, 2 years, or whatever. You don't know.
Jim, I appreciate everyone, the explanation, very helpful. All I'm suggesting is, it sounds like a persuasive conversation by, I guess, the town manager.
I will make that
with
call.
Vision,
Yep.
in a nice way, says, hey, guys, you know, if you can't get them all out on day one, could you get a portion of them out so that we can begin our process with our listers? That's all. Just trying to
And I
understand.
just want to make sure you understand, they can get out 95% of them until it's 100% to the clerk, the abstract. It doesn't matter if it's 5% or 95%. It has to be 100% for the abstract to go to the clerk. So then everybody has some 14 or 15 days to go look at the abstract for comparisons. It wouldn't be fair putting comparisons out there if it's not complete.
All right,
So,
thank you.
so that's that, but I don't think we need a motion. I think you could get it very clearly. It's a contract with Vision. We are in our second year that we expected it last year, and.
Last January.
And
We'll
we're
have a
getting.
very
and we're
lovely
getting now
conversation.
where it's really, you know,
Yeah.
people are calling me, and I'm just telling them, and I think you guys should do it the same, just, it's Vision and it's the listers. I have no idea, you know. And we don't even know what's going on with the state with different statutes that they're working on or whatever. Any other questions? Go ahead. Debbie, mention your
Burke.
name so they can just hear it.
You may have spoken about this, but I missed it. In between the post office and the deli, there's a catch basin that's scaring me to death. And if somebody in the night or whatever wants to mail a letter and they're walking across that, near that catch basin,
Yeah.
which has a cone in it, And it seems, every time I go to mail a letter, it looks like it's sinking deeper and deeper. And
We have that scheduled to be repaired.
you have what?
We have that scheduled to be repaired.
And the board
pretty
is staying
soon?
out of that. So do you have a date?
A not hard date within the next 2 weeks.
Can you look into, and maybe,
Yeah.
maybe by next Monday, since we're gonna probably meet on the
Let's see
budget?
if I can get a date
That
for
you can
that.
get a date for it. Mention your name.
George Brandt. Last week, I don't know if it changed with the vision and stuff like that, there was a lot of commercial properties that haven't even been done yet. Is that still true?
Yeah, that's what where we're getting at. So Patrick, you're gonna have to call on both. The residentials haven't
And
gotten
commercial.
letters. Well, residential hasn't even gotten letters of their meetings or appointments, but commercial hasn't even gotten their letter telling them what they're at.
I just,
Okay.
I
Yep.
have one more thing, Jim.
Go ahead.
If you guys are doing that cobblestone and work on the road, try to, because there's 3 pieces of road that we did 3 different ways on the sidewalk. Whatever your plans are in the future, try to match up to what you're doing, so we don't have to rip it out again and start over
Don't even
again.
just say thank you.
Yeah, please. Well,
I'm not blaming you on it, Patrick, but.
Yeah, we can't
you know,
put a
You're
curb
saying
in it.
cobblestone, you know, where the black poles are is actually nice, because you have the one set of cobblestones that's going straight down the road, which stops cars from hitting you walking.
There may be
I think that's
different,
your best
there may
plan.
be different changes because of how the water runs off for stormwater, but
Yeah.
we'll wait and see, and we'll wait to
I'm
see.
just saying, try to match it up if you can.
We will, thank you, we will try to match it up. Any other questions from the audience? Go ahead, Ken. Mention your name.
The town auditor, are they still coming to present?
When we are, when we are done with the budget, we can schedule that.
The next question I've got too, okay, the RFP for the forensic audit, is there a duration or a deadline in there?
Of how long to respond?
How long it would take, and I get the fact that you can't pinpoint, a date, but he could give you a month.
The duration, the duration of how long their process take, I believe that will be part of their response. We're not capping it because
They're gonna dictate.
they're gonna dictate.
So
Exactly.
I read off
We
this
can
one.
negotiate that after the fact.
Yes.
I read off 3 pages or 2 1/4 pages, and
Again, this is 0 to 5.
yeah, but basically D, which we said is gonna get into, and
Yeah.
it says timeline expectations, and the question is typical duration for a 3-year forensic audit for a municipality of this size.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting us to see in the RFP
Yes.
that answer.
Yep.
But
Yep.
we don't have the answer right now.
Yeah. And it's
Could
typically
go
a
on
few
for
months.
3 years, you said?
No, not years.
No, it's for 3-year of the audit.
3-year look back.
You look at that.
Typical duration for a 3-year forensic audit of a municipality of this size. That's what we're asking them to come back to tell us how long it will take
Yeah.
to do 3 years for the size of this town.
Yep.
And we're gonna wait for that.
And that'll be one of the deciding factors in picking.
John, did I see your hand up earlier?
No.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? I thought you might have went like this, but anybody else? George, we,
Super quick. Are you gonna put ads in the paper for that audit too, for bidding it out?
We're gonna follow the established RFP process.
Okay.
for that. Okay, I'm gonna go to the audience, online audience on the Zoom. Is there anybody that has a question or a concern, citizens input? Not hearing any. The next item
Select
on the
board member
agenda is
concerns.
select board member concerns. I'm gonna start with, we worked on a budget for a while.
Sorry.
We worked on a budget for a while, and in the Mountain Times, it came out and said that the select board had, struggling, I think the word was. And I just want to, it says.
Struggling to make cuts, I
Struggling,
believe.
no, struggling to work on the budget. The budget prior to the forensic audit, okay, without the forensic audit in there, when we put it out to a vote, was like 12 point something without the forensic?
Oh, nine.
12/9.
Yeah.
12.9.
Yeah.
And when we worked through the numbers, not knowing some stuff that we've learned recently, we were at around 4.85 or 5.85 last week.
Oh, last week?
Yeah, without the forensic,
We were also pushing stuff off onto a bond.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, actually, there's the $300,000 bond we were pushing off, and then there was another that the voters didn't need to vote on, and then there
Yeah.
was a $200,000 bond.
Which they will need to vote
That the
on.
voters will need to vote on. So you gotta be careful when you're apples to apples comparison.
I'm just saying it was lower than the 13%. and
Right. If we were to
I
pull out
don't
the deficit,
feel
it'd be
that
at
we
3.
were struggling. I think we were working through. That's all I'm going to say is that, it's
Yeah, we're working
sometimes
through it.
headlines,
We're working through it.
sometimes headlines, they're headlines, so, I don't think we were struggling. I think we were working through a budget, and now that some things have come to our attention, that it's changed, that we still have to work with the budget, and we're going to get there. So that's all I have to say. John, Vito? Ricky? Okay. So, executive session for
Do we
legal.
have to do that now?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We do have to go. Can I get a motion at 9:31 to go into executive session? for
So
legal?
moved.
So
No
moved.
action will be
Second.
taken.
No action will be taken.
No action will be taken.
Okay.
What else?